Hey, so I'm sure you've seen my magazine cover already, and I'm gonna explain to you in detail. But since you most likely don't know anything about Art Nouveau, I'm gonna have to brief you over it before I explain mine, because you're probably not going to understand a single thing. So let's get started. Art Nouveau was a revolutionary design movement that emerged in the late 19th century, peaking around 1890 to 1910. It spanned multiple disciplines, including architecture, decorative arts, furniture, jewelry, graphic design, and glasswork. The movement sought to break away from the academic and historic revival styles that had dominated the 19th century, such as neoclassicism and Gothic revival. Instead, it embraced a new visual language inspired by nature with curvilinear forms, organic shapes, and intricate patterns drawn from plants, flowers, vines, and insects. Designers rejected the rigid geometry of industrial design in favor of fluid, asymmetrical lines and ornamental details that conveyed harmony and movement. One of the key ideals in Art Nouveau was the desire to integrate art into everyday life, blurring the lines between functional objects and fine art. The movement aimed to restore craftsmanship in an era increasingly dominated by mass production, emphasizing high quality materials and handcrafting techniques. In architecture, this was evident in buildings like Antoni Gaudi's Sagrada Familia, which features organic flowing forms that blend seamlessly with the natural landscape. In graphic design, artists like Alphonse Mucha used Art Nouveau to create iconic posters that fused art with advertising, while in Julian Glass, figures like René Lalique elevated the medium to a fine art form. Artists and designers of Art Nouveau were influenced by various international styles and regional movements, from the Japonism craze to symbolism, which often emphasized dreamlike or mythical themes. Some of the key figures associated with the movement include Gustav Klimt, whose work incorporated intricate decorative elements, Victor Horta, a Belgian architect known for his use of curving ironwork, and Louis Comfort Tiffany, who revolutionized glassmaking with his intricate stained glass designs. Despite its relatively short-lived popularity, Art Nouveau laid the groundwork for later movements such as Art Deco and continues to be celebrated for its unique ability to blend aesthetics with functionality, creating a lasting legacy in the world of design. Basically, Art Nouveau was a reaction against the Industrial Revolution's mass production, emphasizing individual artistry, craftsmanship, and a connection to nature in all forms of design. And yes, I have glasses now. So, now that you understand the gist of the Art Nouveau movement, I'll start explaining my magazine cover and why I chose these specific design elements. So, the first thing you probably noticed when you look at my magazine cover are the flowers and plants in the top of the design. The reason why I put it there is because flora and foliage played a big part in many paintings during the Art Nouveau movement. I wanted to emphasize the importance of the plants and flowers as it embodied the movement's core values, hence why the tagline's also the way it is, but I'll get into that later. Additionally, if you look past the plants and flowers, you can notice some hand-drawn elements as well, which are outlined in black. Well, that's because a lot of painters back then in this movement era used this as a stylistic approach to add contrast and definition to their works. Not only that, it also helps emphasize the organic flow and movement of the subject. To summarize it basically, it was used for visual clarity. The next thing you probably notice is the tagline. Just as I've said before, it embodies the core values of the Art Nouveau design movement. It encapsulates the essence of Art Nouveau as organic forms are a key characteristic to this design movement on top of its common subject of the fluidity of nature, such as plants, flowers, and water. With this tagline, I wanted to make sure that the focus was on the organic forms, which in this case is the plants and flowers, hence why they're around the center of the magazine cover, just above the tagline itself. The last thing you might have noticed is the gold frame that is accompanied by a decorative gold border. If you look at some works during this design movement, you can observe some paintings have some decorative design elements to them that help enhance visual appeal. I basically wanted to match that sort of vibe with the gold frame and gold decorative border, and all of it is tied by the tagline which emphasizes the core values of Art Nouveau. Finally, my magazine cover uses slightly saturated and earthy colors which help give off a dreamy, kind of fantasy-ish vibe which I think complement the flowers a lot. The typography of the tagline is also fluid while still being cohesive, which matches the hand-drawn vines which accompany the flowers and plants. The magazine cover basically wants your eyes on the plants and flowers first and foremost, and then you can focus on the rest after. Now you might be wondering, what is the purpose of my magazine cover? Well, I designed this to showcase the beauty of floral and organic forms, as it is rare to see things like this nowadays. To add on to this, it also celebrates the connection between nature and art. I believe this is a breath of fresh air, as everything seems to be so technical and industrial recently. There doesn't seem to be much space for designs like these to thrive anymore, so I wanted to shed light on it. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about my magazine cover. Hope all of this information stuck to your brain, and have a wonderful day, evening, or night, and goodbye.